Now, have I mentioned that India's hot, as in hot tub on an August afternoon hot? Before we hit the road, we stood around a long time at our meeting point. Now, some of this is because of the complications that filming brings, and some of it was because it's India. I'd noticed that everywhere we went, there were too many people doing too few tasks. At the hotel restaurant, servers outnumbered diners. Even the film crew itself had enough members to make 2 cricket squads. When you have 1.5 billion people in a country, you have extras, extra people. Without exception, everyone was kind and capable. Well, there was one exception. We had a taxi driver keen on driving us to Tibet, despite our guide's impassioned plea for him to drive us to our destination. Words were exchanged, hands were waved, threats were made. But by then we were halfway to Tibet. Finally, when the sun was high enough to turn our brains to poached eggs, we rode away. This was my first time in a Royal Enfield, a used but not entirely used up Interceptor 650. I fell in line somewhere in the middle of the pack that included bikes that ranged from a 250 Honda single to a couple of Harleys. As we rode out of the city and the highway, my newfound friends were determined to treat me like royalty. They surrounded me. I felt like the dictator of a banana republic who had to be protected from the wrath of an angry, vengeful citizenry. My Interceptor loaner was a low-key delight. Despite a threateningly deep exhaust note, the bike was as easy and undemanding to ride as a bike half its size. The Interceptor's clutch was light and the power moderate, but enough to maintain 130 kilometers an hour, though the wind blast from the upright riding position was a workout for the abs. But more interesting than the bike itself was my growing understanding of the ebb and flow of Indian traffic. I thought back to my initial perception of what I'd witnessed on the roads when I arrived in India, that it was pure madness. It's mayhem, all right, there's no need to play footsies with the truth, but there's logic to it. The language of the road, when you think about it, is the only universal language in a country with more than 20 official spoken languages, and, at least if you're Hindu, between 33 and 330 million gods. That's not a typo. I was thinking about this while riding on the highway. And right when I wondered if there was a god for unsignaled lane changes, I'm sure there is, I looked to my left and saw a car close enough for me to swing my knee out and touch its front fender. But I'd seen enough not to panic. I gently veered towards the concrete median wall, and the car passed within my lane without incident. The chasm between rich and poor in India is dramatic. And this cultural reality is reflected on the road. The 4-lane highway hosted vehicles as diverse as a Bentley honking along at top speed and a tractor pulling a cart. But there's more at play than just shocking speed differentials. Imagine a shopping mall parking lot the weekend before Christmas, and you'll begin to understand the complex dynamic of Indian traffic flow. The painted lines on the road suggest 4 lanes. These suggestions are ignored. Now take those 4 lanes, add the shoulder for 5, more on that in a minute, and then squeeze everyone in. And what do you have? 5, do I hear? 6 lanes. 6 lanes to the woman on the scooter, 7 going once, 7 lanes to the man on the tuk-tuk. Now back to that 5th lane, the shoulder. It's a full speed, don't dare stop on it lane, in addition to functioning as a pathway for vehicles traveling in the opposite direction. The wrong direction. Imagine my shock whizzing along on the shoulder at 120. I fit in, a little too well, when I met a gasoline tanker nose to nose. No need to panic. 7 lanes squeezed into 6 lanes on the 4-lane highway, and nobody so much as raised a furry eyebrow. The key to traveling Indian roads is this, the thumb, because this pushes a button that sounds the horn, and the horn is how Indians talk to each other. That's not how we do it over here. In the decadent West, the thumb is used to tell drivers they're assholes. Veer into my lane? Before we set out on a ride, there wasn't much of a chance to talk to my fellow riders. But a few hours outside Delhi, we stopped to chew the fat. And in doing so, all of my preconceptions were confirmed. No matter where you go, no matter where you ride, motorcyclists far more often than not, are pretty great people.
My name is Pratik.
I'm Subbu.
Shaurya.
Amit Palia.
My name is Samir.
It's Ayan Chaudhary.
So I ride a Bonneville T120.
I ride a Harley Street 750.
I ride a Honda CBR 250.
That's the Fat Boy 2016 model.
Harley has always been a childhood dream.
I love that bike. It's just so good looking.
Yeah, I'm the only one on the Enfield. I think no better motorcycle to ride in India than a Royal Enfield.
So why do you do it?
Because it's fun.
I feel good. I feel alive while riding this bike.
Exactly the same as you will feel in Toronto or any part of the world. It's amazing,
That says a lot for the excitement or the passion that's now in the country for what I would call leisure biking. I don't know much about pleasure. If it's pleasurable, it's not. Big bikes get hot. So I don't know about the pleasure part, but it's definitely leisure biking.
In India, with the weather conditions that we have here and the immense amount of heat that the Harley generates, it becomes difficult riding it throughout the years.
You've got the most badass boot.
Ah, thank you. This just saves my calves from burning out on my bike.
Yeah!
On the ride out of